Okay, Yellow Syn it is. Right, so let's go ahead and get the new stuff up first. You can run multiple of this guy, right? Yeah. And then yellow Shadow Dragon stuff. So let's see what the archetype is looking like and then fill in the rest. I haven't actually, let's read over what these here new cards do, I guess. So if your leader is a yellow Shadow Dragon, it's a 1-drop. If it's in active mode against barrier, interesting. If you have 2 or more energy, when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less, KO it, then this card gains 5k and double strike for the turn. Okay. As a 1-drop, it's not bad, but it doesn't feel like it does a lot for the deck. It's some nice removal. Does the deck need removal? I'm not sure. What does this do? Barrier blocker on a 1-drop. A 1-drop barrier blocker. Okay. Ooh, when this card is in a drop, is sent to a warp by a Shadow Dragon battle card skill. Play up to 1 yellow Oceanus. Energy cost of 4 from your drop. But what's warping? It's just this guy, right? Is this the only one that warps? Is there anything more that warps? No, this guy only warps AoDs. Or, no, plays if it has AoDs. I don't think there's anything else that warps. This guy just plays, guys. Okay. Interesting. I mean, it is a barrier blocker is the thing. So you can just warp it with this to get barrier blocker still. And then you also play another barrier blocker, which is pretty good for 2 energy in total. I'm down for that, to be fair. I'm really not sold on this card. But maybe it's like a one-off in case you want to warp it off of the 8-drop here as a way to remove a guy and get double strike. But then does Ace Haze not better? I feel like this deck... I mean, it doesn't have much removal, but the existence of the 4-drop Haze should be enough. Right? Well, let's start with what we know. We're definitely running 4 Oceanus. I feel like we're also definitely going to be running 4 of the Omega. I feel like with this new barrier blocker card, the deck definitely wants to play control now, rather than aggro or mid-range with the Rage Shenrons. So we definitely want 3 ice, 4 1-star, probably at least 2 of this guy. I'd say at least 3 of this, and then some 9-drops in there as well. If we're playing control, we don't need this card at more than... Oh, this warps from drop. Ooh. I mean, it's nice. Do I ever play a second copy? Maybe. We'll leave space open for that. Nuova is a good card. I mean, now that you can play 2 barrier blockers down, this card is actually not bad, right? And then... this you can play off the leader skill, which is cool. This guy you want if you end up playing Nuova in the deck. And then the Haze is also quite nice as a one-off to also Playoff leader. You definitely want 4 of this also. I forgot that card. Okay. So that's like most of the engine. But we haven't sorted ratios out yet. And then in terms of good yellow stuff. I mean, we have options now. How much Z energy is the Z leader? 2. Okay. That's not so bad. Yellow cards. In fact... Oh, you know what's kind of nasty is you can play the Goku Black Unison and get Z Awaken turn 3 every game, right? Because you can pay 3 for the Goku Black Unison. However... Yeah, you can play the Goku Black Unison on turn 3, right? And then you can awaken because you have a full cost Unison in play, which untaps 1, draw 2, and then you can Z Awaken instantly. That's kind of nice. I do feel like you want to Z Awaken quite early just because of the fact it's a 20k base, and then once you get to like turn 6, you just activate main battle to shut down an opponent's turn or remove their whole board. And then you just kind of go back to your normal leader and then tap 6 and revive everything. So maybe the Goku Black Unison has Lex now. I do think, however, I'm gonna stick with Meki for now. Now, yellow good stuff. We've been talking about it all evening. What yellow good stuff is there? For the deck, I feel like the deck definitely has enough of an engine where it just looks for yellow stuff as defense. So we look at the extra cards first, because if there's enough good extra cards for the deck, I never even knew this was a card. That's cool. If there's enough good extra cards for the deck, we can facilitate cards like Riposte or Steadfast. But if there's not, then we're not running Riposte. We can maybe run Vegito instead, which with a Z Awaken is actually really nice. I feel like Nimbus is a good inclusion. Do you need Final Flash? I would argue no, because you have your Z leader. Time Magic is a possibility for dual attackers. Or for Self-Awakening, but you probably don't need it for Self-Awakening. Realm is also a possibility. Power of Super Saiyan is just a good card. T-Blow, I don't think you need. Right? Because you're not trying to really be aggressive. This is much more of an aggressive, like, kill turn card. I feel like with this deck, the longer the game goes on, you're still kind of fine, right? You maybe sideboard T-Blows, but you don't actually mainboard them. Release from Evil is actually an option because you have a Unison, which is cool. And maybe that means you don't need Time Magics. Token Negate as well. I think those are the main extra cards we'd be looking at. Thunder Flash. Oh, true. I love that card. Wait, that card's so good. Yeah. Or Dragon Thunder. Yes. Because now you can be 25k base from turn like 4 onwards. Yeah, I love this card so much. Thank you. I forgot this card was a thing, but I really like it. Okay. Another thing is, what SCR are we running? So we definitely want Krillin super combos. But do we want 3 or 4? Do we run Gohan Piccolo? Do we run Cell Xeno? Or do we run... I mean, you could run Golden Cooler. I don't think you run Golden Cooler, though. It is really between Gohan Piccolo or Cell Xeno. Cell Xeno is a great finisher for this deck. But Gohan Piccolo is just kind of a nice survival tool, and you can also use it to push a big triple strike. I'm not entirely sure. I think we'll try Cell Xeno. Oh, we'll get this art, of course. And then that does mean we can run a 4th super combo, which is quite nice. Bursting Rage, 7-drop Syn SCR. Oh man, you guys got ideas. 7-drop. I don't think you run the 7-drop Syn SCR. Bursting Rage. What does that card even do? That just lets you Z-Awaken for 1 turn, right? I don't think that's good. Because you can already Z-Awaken regardless of life total. Yeah. I think I'd rather run Gohan Piccolo over that if I wanted a defensive secret rare at least. Let's see. Okay, so now we need to trim ratios really, and I guess look at generic good yellow battle cards. Which in theory would basically just be Vegito, Riposte. Those are the main ones, I think. You could run Steadfast, but I don't think this deck is going to have space for a card like Steadfast. Okay, so let's look at extra cards first. I really like Dragon Thunder. With the new Z Leader, this card is actually really cool. I mean, Release from Evil is cool, because you, in theory, have a Unison down most of the time. But I think I'm going to prefer Time Magic over it, because it fills the slot of Release from Evil and Token Negates. And then, honestly, the fact that we have Nimbus means we don't need Riposte. I think 3 Nimbus, 2 Vegito is quite good, because of the fact we have a Z Leader now. Right, let's look at these Syn ratios. I really like this Oceanus. I think I'm going to bump that to 3. I don't like this card, this Nuova. We're getting rid of it. Is 3 of each of these enough? Maybe 4 drop. For consistency purposes, but then we're really running low on space in terms of fitting in Nuova and Naturon. So maybe they're a little bit too greedy. To be fair, I think this card kind of lost its value because there's too much removal nowadays. And there's a lot more extra cards than I would like in the deck as well. I mean, Realm is such a good card, is the issue. Maybe we don't even run Vegito, maybe we cut down on Nimbus to 2 copies or something. If you're going to shoot down my 7-drop Syn SCR, I'll raise you an 8-drop Syn SCR. See, the issue with the 7-drop Syn SCR is the fact that the ultimate tag change kind of just ruins the idea. Because, like, you can infinitely block with it and then bring it back and then infinitely block with it again. It's really cool. It doesn't work in the deck anymore, though, is the thing, because you can't just keep bringing it back. It's nice if you burst it, but yeah. 8-drop Syn SCR. This deck needs its energy. This deck needs its energy. You need a free play SCR, whether it's Cell Xeno or Gohan Piccolo, I feel. Four other cards to cut. I'm honestly leaning towards cutting Vegito, but we can't rely on just 2 Nimbus, I don't think. I mean, we have Dragon... Do we need Floodgates, even? We have 25k base leader with the potential to just get out of a kill swing for 6 cards in hand. Which, whilst is expensive, it's not expensive in terms of energy, which is great. You can tap really low. You definitely don't need 3 of this, because you have this guy, actually, I just realized. In fact, maybe we go 3 of this. But yeah... in fact, I'm going to cut this to 2 because this card is an evolved target still. It's, yeah. Perfect, okay. I'm happy with that. Yeah, do you need Floodgates in this deck? I'm not sure. I really don't know. Because I really want Realm at 2 copies. You have barrier blockers coming out everywhere now. And you just, like, you have a 25k base leader, and you have barrier blockers, and you can just get rid of a fucking... What's it called? Get rid of a kill swing instantly. 2 Nimbus, 2 Flash, 2 Realms, 1 Power. Yeah, maybe Time Magic is a bit overkill, but I feel like you want a hard negate in some form. Okay, we'll try it your way. We'll cut this. We'll go to 2 Realm. I guess you can rely on Z Leader to just get you out of kill swings. Remove 1 Krilling and 1 Celzino, run Piccolohan, run 2 Mecha Unison. I don't want 2 Mecha Unison. I feel like 3 is kind of even pushing it, to be honest. Doesn't this deck draw and cycle like crazy, so does it need to be at 50? I will die on this hill. It needs to be, like, decks just need to be at 50 unless they're at 60. If you're not at 50, you're at 60. And that's my take on it, pretty much. Even if it draws and cycles and bursts quite a bit. I don't think it draws all that much, to be honest. It does burst quite a bit. But it doesn't draw all that much. It can cycle a little bit with the Oceanus every turn, but... yeah, I'm very certain that you go to 50 with this deck, because you also want to make sure you open balls as consistently as possible. Consistency is just always key. Absolutely. Am I cutting Vegito? Am I cutting Vegito? I'm gonna cut Vegito. We'll put it in a side deck for cards to consider. How's that? Cards you could be running. Time Magic. I think that's kind of it, to be honest. Well then, why wasn't your SSG Trunks at 50? It was. My SSG Trunks list is at 50. In fact, with SSG Trunks, I struggled to find the last 4 cards, because the last 4 cards were like 1 Dark Broly, 1 Brainwashed, 1 Pan Negate, and 1 of something else, and they all felt shit, and I just didn't know what to fill those last 4 slots with. But yeah, my SSG Trunks list is at 50, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm happy with this list. I do kind of want this card at 4 copies, but maybe that's a bit too greedy for a new card. Z-Deck stuff, let's look at yellow Z-Deck cards. One of the Z extra. We don't need Final Flash because we have this card. Arguably, we don't need Realm because we have this card, but Realm draws a card still, so it's not bad. This is barrier removal, so maybe. This is a good card. You maybe even consider going to 2 copies. Just keep locking down the leader over and over now. And then Oolong. Yeah, for sure Oolong comes in. Is that 6 cards? Yeah, okay. 2-drop Goku for removal. I don't... no, I don't think so. There's 1 more slot. You could run Surmounting. Would you run Surmounting? To get to 3 life? I don't think so. I think you either run a second copy of this or a third Z leader. We're not going to run 3 Z leaders though, because I only own 2 copies. So we'll try a second. Maybe second Evolved Defender is too much. Okay, no, you know what? We're going to run some mounting just to fill it out. Yeah. Oh, we'll get the nice artwork in there. Okay, this is the list I'm happy with, for a first draft at least. Black Mechie 50 or 60. I think with Mechie you do have to go 60. Just because you draw so much off the balls so quickly. I hate going to higher than 50 with it. But yeah, I think you kind of have to be honest. What about the other yellow Gokuzi battle card? The 2-drop? It's nice for removal, but I don't think it's good enough on its own without the fact that it's like gonna give you, you know, the restand on the Vegeta and stuff. Oh wait, you mean this card? Oh yeah, I forgot this was a card, right? Yeah, okay, this is a good card. I always forget that's a card. We'll try that. We'll try that. Because I'm not sold on surmounting. Yeah, I always forget that's a card because it's very rarely seen. But it's a very strong one. But yeah, I'm not sold on surmounting because even if you get stalled at 4 life, you can, once they hit you to 3 life, you can then like instantly Z awaken pretty much. And you can then, you don't even have to worry about like awakening on your own turn because you don't get anything from awakening on your own turn other than being able to use the energy that you untap. But if you untap an energy, you can pay 1 then to just instantly Z awaken on opponent's turn, which is fine. But also, you should also just have Mechies, ideally. Geo kills me with that card. Yeah, I can imagine. This card is, yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. Majin Buu Vile Onslaught. Is that the 8-drop? That definitely could be a card in the deck, couldn't it? I'll stick it in here for now. Stick it in the side for now so that I remember it's there. But yeah, I think if I were to draft up a Yellow Syn list, this would at least be what it initially looks like. What I might do quickly is I'll take a quick break. Counter. I don't know. I don't think you run counter in the deck. I think everything's a bit too expensive to warrant it, to be honest. You just have to like build a board of big dragons and swing with them, right? Yeah, I'm not sold on the counter. It's nice because you have a triple strike, but the deck isn't looking to really win that way. It's looking to just out advantage, I think. But yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be like 10-15 minutes, eat some dinner, try and see if somebody is around that I can test this deck against and quickly build the deck in person. And then we'll run 1 or 2 demonstratory games on webcam, see how the build runs, just so you guys can get to see like what I do when I build decks as well and test them. But yeah, like I say, I'll be back in about 15 minutes maybe. We'll just move over to the be right back screen and stick around, or just come back in about 15 minutes or so and we'll play some games or something. So I will see you guys then.